with the new president now elected, how do you see this? Because we would want to know the kind of connect the new president shares with the masses, because this would be important in, allaying the concerns of these protesters of Sri Lanka.
See, even when Mr. Wickremesinghe was brought in on a national list to Parliament, people rally around him. People were talking about him because they had made a mistake by defeating him earlier in parliamentary election, in the presidency election. So now people are now saying that Mr. Wickremesinghe is the only man who can put the country right. So people have to rally around him. Everybody has to support him. All organizations, NGOs, the private sector, the business community, everybody must rally around him to bring in the dollars to the country. So that is our target. That is how we are going to work, and we will definitely achieve that. There won't be any issue. Mr. Wickremesinghe proving that he was the most successful president in this country.
Okay. And the biggest issue at this point is the debt trap that Sri Lanka has been reeling from. How do you see this panning out? How do you see the president tackling this particular issue? Because this needs to be remembered that the debt trap is something which has gotten the country into the state that it is in right now.
Just $52 billion is not a big amount for Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka has more opportunities. Sri Lanka is a very powerful country that can do a lot. They messed up the whole thing. The Rajapaksas ruined the country. All that is true. But Mr. Wickremesinghe will definitely turn it around, and definitely we will bring in the dollars. We will allow people to bring in more dollars to invest into this country. We will have the tourists coming into the country. A lot of things are in hand, and we will definitely do it. And within 6 months, you can see how Sri Lanka will be.
Do you see, with the new president now being elected, you see the IMF probably coming out with a bailout package, and other countries as well coming out to help the country reeling from severe economic crisis?
Yeah, Sri Lanka, everybody was waiting for a stable country, and they were very closely working with Mr. Wickremesinghe. Mr. Wickremesinghe is the only person who suggested that we have to go to the IMF long before he came into parliament. So now he is the president. He has been, when he was prime minister, he was dealing with the IMF. The bailout of $3 billion has been finalized, and now it's in the stage of getting it. So Mr. Wickremesinghe will start with the $3 billion bailout, and that is how we will start work. And that's why I said it will be very successful, and we will have no problem. Sri Lanka will be a very stable country within 6 months.
All right. Sir, appreciate you speaking to us. So that was Azath Salley, a former governor of the Western Province, speaking to the public after the new president that has been elected, Ranil Wickremesinghe, that is 8th executive president to have been elected for Sri Lanka. Remember, he was also acting as a president. All this while, as a country continues to face its worst economic crisis it has faced in decades. So it remains to be seen the kind of action that the new president takes as the country continues to reel with extreme economic crisis.